Welcome back to the Elevate Your Life podcast. Cheryl, we are doing episode number 111 today, and it is Leadership Thursday.
I love it. 111.
111.
That's,
It's like, like a
it's
sign.
good. Yeah, it is. Sign that it's possible to be number one at all times. There you go.
It is. So Cheryl, we're talking about, we've been going through the 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell, a new version he just came out with back in June of this year. And we're on law number 13 now, so we're cruising right through this book.
We are.
And this is another great one, the law of the picture.
Yeah, I love this one because I think it's like when I was like really going through and studying this, I really felt like this is kind of where the rubber hits the road a little bit for you as a leader.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you're the picture of health, Cheryl. You're the picture of beauty. I mean, you're the picture of every. You're the ultimate leader because you are the law of the picture.
Well, thank you, because I think that that's super important, right? We talked about this a while ago, and we decided that if you're going to help people elevate their lives, then we better make sure
our lives are kind of elevated.
You know, and it all starts with leading by example, right? I mean, that's where it all starts. So it's not trying to tell someone what to do, but not doing it yourself. It's all about you doing it and them following you because they're looking at you like a picture, right? Yeah. And so I think I love that is the whole premise of this one.
Absolutely. If you're in a hurry and just don't have any more time to listen to us, the whole gist of this law is lead by example. And we're going to talk about that extensively over the next 15 minutes. But that's what it's about, Cheryl. It's really about leading by example. People do what people see.
Yep.
So they got to see you do it first, and then they'll do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can also be called the law of duplication. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? So we're leading by example, but then someone's going to duplicate the right actions that we are taking.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always say that it doesn't matter what works, what matters is what duplicates. So we got a way of duplicating leaders and making this, whatever, business you own or whatever group you're leading, you need to make this a duplicatable process. So Cheryl, let's talk about creating the 3 steps of creating the picture in your team's mind.
Right, which is super important, right? I mean, we need to have a picture in our mind so that then they can have it in their mind. And it all starts with the vision.
Yeah.
Right? So what are you doing? Where are you going is really where it starts. What's your goal? What's the result that you want? And I love that, Paul. And we know that something that I like to think about all the time is what our vision is. And it's what wakes me up in the middle of the night. It's what gets me up excited in the morning. I'm super passionate about it. And it's just that we really, really, really want 1 million people living a better life. That's our vision.
Yeah. So we have with the Elevate and we have Find the Fabulous. And Cheryl and I were just saying that, like, when it's all said and done, we're going to look back on our lives and say, well, what'd you do? Well, we helped 1 million people live a better life. Like that, that'll probably get you into heaven. I mean, that'll get you some points for that. Make you feel good about your life and what you've done. So there has to be that big vision of like, wow, we accomplished that. Like
Well, we talk a lot, Paul, about people wanting a purpose in their life, right? Because that's what drives us as human beings. Every single person wants to feel a purpose. They want to feel like they are contributing, like they are helping, like they are, living their life with meaning. And that's really what this is all about. So, but it's creating that vision for yourself so that your team can have it. Because remember, it's the picture, right? And so we have to create that vision and share it and, and get and have the team all having the same vision.
Absolutely. And as Cheryl and I can't bring 1 million people on. So it's about everyone else bringing people on and saying, hey, I'm doing this Elevate thing, I'm doing this Find a Fabulous thing, you should come do it with me. And, here's the vision, and you can see that, hey, we're going to make the world a better place by
Yeah.
helping people, live a better life. So, you mentioned the word purpose. So number two, mission provides the purpose. So vision's a big picture, like what the end result is that we want, like you said. But the mission, what does the mission do, Cheryl?
Well, our mission or our purpose, why we exist, is to help people create positive change in their life, right? So we want to help a million people live a better life. And in doing that, we're going to help them create positive change, because I think it will take change, right? It's going to take a little bit of change. It's going to take some really deciding that your vision is in line with what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's so important, because I think a lot of times, people are at a dead end job, or they're at, something that they're not passionate about, and that they're not really feeling like they're living a meaningful life. And let me say one thing too, Paul, this just came to my mind about the vision. It's super important for us as leaders to really communicate the vision clearly, creatively, and continually. And I think something that's super important is that if you as a leader don't know quite where you're going, what your passion is and what your vision is, it's time to stop right now, and you've got to figure that out, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. So the vision is like the big picture, the North Star, where we want to go, eventually, where we want to get to. But the mission to me, Cheryl, is what am I going to do today? I'm not going to get a million people today, but I am 1,000% focused today to help people create positive change in their life. And that's why we're doing this podcast. That's why we meet with people all day. We want to, help people make that positive change in their life in every area. I mean, we want to help them with their emotions. We talk about state all the time. We want to help them with their mindset, with their body, with their health, with their spirit, with their finances, with their planning, and with their preparing, and we hear all the time that you shouldn't listen to what other people say about you, or don't pay attention to that. And what I think is that we do naturally care what other people think about us. So why not start with the idea of, what do I want people to say about me? And so one of the things is I want people to say, well, Paul's always extremely prepared.
Yes.
Would you say that?
Say that.
Would you say that about, or what other people would say about me?
Yes, we can say that about you, Paul.
Yeah. See, so I have that in my mind of what I want you and other people to say about me behind my back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start living that life.
Yeah.
And I think if we do that, again, it always goes back to do you want to live by default or by design? So default is people can say whatever they want about me, I don't, whatever. Or you can design it to where I know exactly what people are going to say about me because I've designed this, and live a certain way where of course they're going to say that, hey, Paul's excellent at managing his state. Paul's excellent mindset. Paul's in super great health. I mean, just because that's what I do and that's what I portray and that's the picture I sent out to the world. And they see that and they're like, yeah, Paul is, he's a great planner.
Yeah. All of those things, right? I mean, I think that's fantastic. And I love that you think about that before and you really design the way that people will see you and you live into that. I think that is super, super important. Okay. So we have the vision, the mission. Let's talk, Paul, about strategy, because with you can have those other things, but without a strategy, right? That's the path. That's the path you've got to get on. That's the path you're going to follow. And I'm telling you, having a path to be on is what's made all the difference for me. Because I was like, I could go down a path a little bit, then I try another path, and then I try this path over here. And I was, and so I think you really have to be clear on the path that you're on so that you can make sure that the people that you are leading are on that same path with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've gone through different paths over the years, but the one we really loved and designed is this path. It's three things. So it's plan, do, review. And that's our ultimate success formula that we use here at Elevate and Find a Fabulous. And we always have a plan. We know where we're going. We do it, we take action, then we review it. And you got to think of this as like a circle. So then after we review, we adjust the plan. And then we do it again, then we review, then we adjust the plan, do it again. We keep going around and around. And that is how you accomplish anything in life. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's use this formula and great things can happen. So I love this, Cheryl. We've helped thousands of people with this because of the strategy, and it's important. We encourage everyone to use this strategy in their business, in their life,
in every part of their life, right? Because you can use it in every part of your life. And I think sometimes when I'm like plan, do, review, oh my gosh, that seems like a little bit much, or gosh, this vision, how on earth am I going to get because Paul, honestly, we have a massive vision, right? So we have a huge vision, which I absolutely love. I love to have that. I love to think about it. But I think that the secret to achieving your vision or achieving our vision is to do a few simple things every day consistently over time. That's what it is. It's not like something massive on Monday and then resting the rest of the week, right? Just, or it's not doing like some great big thing and then, wow, let's take some time off, right? It's consistently doing small things every day over time. I love that, Paul.
Yeah, and it ties into what we were talking about yesterday, Cheryl, off camera, so everyone knows the story about a penny doubling every day for a month.
Yeah.
So a penny doubling every single day for 30 days straight is $5.3 million.
Yeah. Who wouldn't want that?
Crazy.
1 penny, 1 cent. That is so fascinating to me.
That's fascinating to me too, but not as fascinating as this.
I know.
So a penny doubled every other day for 30
But wait,
days.
because and you know what? Like why would that happen? Why would a penny double every other day? Well, because we doubled it today, and
I don't want to work every day, Cheryl. I'm not going to be that consistent. I'm just going to be sort of consistent on Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Every other day. And what's the big deal, Paul? I mean, who cares? It's 1 day. It's 1 day. Right? But what is it? How much is 1 penny doubled every other day?
$136.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. So isn't that crazy? So 5.4 million, 5.3 million. What, who cares? Like let's not split hairs here. But it's a lot, over 5 million. And if you miss a day of the doubling of the penny, if you just go every other day, it's $136. Look, oh, I cannot even believe it. That is
few
so
simple
fast.
things every day, consistently over time, and you have $5.3 million. I mean, or massive success.
Exactly. Woo!
Super interesting. All right, Cheryl. So tell us about the 3 things that a leader must understand to master this law of the picture.
Okay. Oh my gosh, this is like the hardest part. Okay. So, as a leader, the very first thing that we have to understand is that the first person that we need to lead is ourselves. And that is so hard because, a lot of times you're like, oh, well, I used to think that a leader would just tell everyone what to do. And by the way, that's not hard. That's quite easy, in fact. And I mean, it really is. It's easy to just tell people what to do. And well, hey, listen, I told them what to do and they need to do it because I'm the leader, right? No, absolutely not. You need to lead yourself first so that you can be the picture of what they are going to follow. Hello. Okay. So that's not easy. Paul, that's not easy.
Nope. And the second one's not any easier. It's the first person that I should change is me. Now, the first thing most leaders want to do is like, well, I got to fix that person, that person, that person.
Oh, yeah.
Not understanding that they got to change themselves first.
Yeah. Well, and there's the C word, Paul, the old change. That's not easy.
No.
That's not easy. But guess what? If you don't change anything, then you will get what you've always got. And I love that. I love that whole thing. Okay, number 3. So my standards of excellence, so must be higher for myself than those that I set for others. I've got some high standards and expectations from people. I've set them high, sometimes. And it's like we need to make sure that the ones we set for ourselves are at the peak, right? They need to be the highest.
Yep. And we did a whole podcast on standards. I love the whole concept of this and drawing the line. This isn't pie in the sky stuff. This is, I'll never go below this line.
Right.
And once you set the high standards, other people are going to see that and model that.
Correct. That is the law of the picture, isn't it? Okay. Good leaders are always conscious of the fact that they are setting the example and others are going to do what they do, right? So sometimes they might, a lot of times, and I've really figured this out a lot in business, right, Paul? Oh my gosh, owning your own business. I think it's so fascinating that we can model things, we can set the example, we can be the perfect picture, but not everybody is going to, do what, not everyone is going to elevate their life. They just may not want to, right?
Absolutely. What I really find fascinating, though, is the last part of that sentence, which is for better or worse. So
right.
Whether you're doing good things or bad things, people are going to do what you do.
Yes.
So, if you're wondering, well, why is my team always late for meetings or this or that or that? Well, how much on time are you, or whatever the situation is. So right. it's these habits get passed on, whether they're good or bad, based on how people see you.
Yeah. And I think it's super important to realize too, that people are always watching you. They may not be listening to you and doing what you tell them to do, but they are definitely watching you. And that really rings true as a parent also.
Yeah.
Your kids will do what you do, not what you say. Right. And it's the same way. It's the same way because, we're all leaders in some part of our lives anyway, right? Whether you're leading your family, whether you're leading a company, whether you're, leading your own business, whatever it is.
Yeah. And a lot of it's subconscious, Cheryl, where the things you do, you want your kids to see it. And it's like, oh, my mom always does this and my mom always does that. And, it just, again, they see the right picture and they're going to model it more times than not.
Absolutely. Well, okay. So Paul, we are to the point of what we want you guys to do. Now we're doing the same thing, remember, because we are the law of the picture. So the first thing is you've got to score yourself on this law of the picture. You need a baseline. You need to know where you're starting, right? So that you can work on this and you need to make sure that you are, really doing the things that you want your team or your family or whoever it is to do. You need to be that person.
Yeah. It's asking yourself, am I a good picture to other people?
Yeah.
Am I living the type of life, doing the type of things that I want other people to do?
Yeah.
And, I want other people to be this, and this. Well, the question of this and how you're going to score yourself on this, because it's difficult scoring yourself on these different laws.
Oh, I don't like
How good of a picture am I sending out to my team?
I don't like to do it, Paul.
I know you don't. That's why.
But that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. And you know what I found though, you guys too, is that, if you want to share that with others, I think it's great to find out, what their thoughts are. Hey, how do you think I'm doing on this? I love to see, score yourself first, but then ask a trusted friend or a couple of trusted friends on how they see you in this role as setting that example that you want to set, because I think a lot of times I'm seeing, especially women, I think, but I work more with women than with men, but I think that they score lower, I think, than other people would score them, which is kind of interesting to me because that can help you to see that, hey, listen, don't be so hard on yourself. You are, you're doing a great job and other people are seeing that. So.
It's funny you say that because I have the exact opposite problem with men. Oh, I'm a 10. I got that law of the picture thing all set. I'm like, ooh, yeah, well, I was thinking more like a 4. We may be overconfident on this
overstating.
one. Yeah.
Well, and yeah. So, but oh my gosh, that's so funny. And I kind of knew you would say that. So, oh my God. Okay. So, let's see. Make sure that you've read this law, right? You need to read the chapter 13, the law. So please do that. And then, gosh, next week already chapter 14. Wow. Woo! This has been fantastic. I mean, I love every single one of these, and that's the law of the buy-in. People buy into the leader and then the vision. And that's so interesting because I was just on the phone last night or on a Zoom call and talking to some new friends that have joined us. And I said, well, why did you decide that you wanted to take a look and join this? And it is because of the leader that they were talking to and the leader that brought them in, not because of the vision that he had created yet, right? It's all about it's because of the person, which is like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's absolutely right. And Paul, I think you will agree with me that really is the way it is every time.
Absolutely. I mean, I deal with leaders every single day that ask, well, Paul, I cast the vision. I told my team where we're going and stuff, and I'm not getting any buy-in on that. I'm like, well, did they buy into you yet?
Yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
There's a lot of silence on the phone at that moment.
No, and here's the other thing. If you don't know if they've bought into you, they have not.
They've not, yeah.
Bought into you. Right? Which I think
is
fascinating. Yeah, you will know. Yeah.
Excellent point. Books to read. The 360-Degree Leader is a great book by John that expands on this more, Developing a Leader Within You. Another great book on this. And then The Roadmap to Success, which is an excellent book that goes into this law of the picture even deeper.
Wow.
So we always end with a +1. And our +1 for today, our takeaway, one takeaway from this is that to elevate other people, you must first elevate yourself and set the example.
And as you do that, you will be able to move yourself and other people from fine to fabulous.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoy this podcast. We will see you next Tuesday during our Mindset podcast.